Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Help for the Guiltless. My name, of course, is Antoine. Have you ever read something so stupid that you felt your IQ dropping by the second, and you feared that if you continued reading all of it, by the end of it, you would be nothing but a gibbering monkey trying to lick the windows? Well, I think I've found it. Or I think I found something that possibly could be used to do something like that to someone you've captured and tortured after they built a barbecue MGTOW style. Now, here's the thing. This is back from 2016. I just came across it now. I don't remember if anybody I follow on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube has done anything on it, but it is the complete list of all Tumblr sexualities so far. There's a bit. Now they have the normal ones, and I'll go through a few of them, and I don't know if I'm going to read all of them, but there are some choice ones in there that are definitely worth talking about. Anyway, let's start this off. Now, this comes from Age of Shitlords, which I believe is run by Sargon of Akkad, or someone close to him. But even though it's on a place called Age of Shitlords, they actually just take it from Tumblr. Following the amount of attention our previous article, complete lists of Tumblr genders so far, got within a month of it being published, we received a lot of requests to compile a similar list of all the sexualities Tumblr has invented. And they do mean invented. Tumblr doesn't actually go off of anything but fifis and how you should feel and how everyone should take care of you. After 2 months, we believe we have combined a list that includes all the sexualities. If it exists, then it's definitely in the list. As always, this is Tumblr. They'll probably invent a new one tomorrow. According to one Tumblr user who claims to be an expert on the topic, which means they know how to use Google and watched one episode of Sex and the City, there are 6 types of attraction. You know, because being attracted to someone needs definition instead of just being attracted to that person. Sexual attraction. I want to have sex with you. That's implied in the name. Sexual attraction means you think they're hot. It means that you want to get them into bed. It means you want them to make all those wonderful noises that comes with people getting into bed together. And I'm not talking about a pillow fort. Romantic attraction. I want to date you. Most of the time, the way that normal people work, romantic attraction and sexual attraction go hand in hand. You want to date them, to get to know them, to get into bed with them. It's kind of how it works. I mean, it's how the species has propagated itself for thousands of years. Why fix what's not broken? Because Tumblr exists and the internet was a mistake. Sensual attraction. I want to hug and kiss you. Well, see, again, this in normal relationships that are outside of the Tumblr sphere actually are the same fucking type of attraction. You want to be in close to them, you want to be romantically involved with them, you want to be sensual with them, you want to cuddle, you want to hold, you want to hug, you want to grind, you want to bump, you want to play those dirty games that we all know about. These are all the same type of attraction, just broken down, I guess. Platonic attraction. I want to be friends with you. These are the people that you get to know. These are the people that are your friends, that you don't want to have sex with. Thus you don't want to be romantically involved with. Thus you don't want to be sensual with. And then there's aesthetic attraction. You look nice. This, once again, goes along with the sexual attraction, the romantic attraction, and the sensual attraction. Someone who you think looks hot, or pretty, or handsome, or beautiful, or debonair, you want to get to know them. I didn't know that this needed to be a category. And then the last one, because there were 6, that was number 5. Altruists Attraction. This one has a little bit longer description. Can be best described as desiring emotional closeness with someone. Is neither platonic nor romantic, but rather somewhere in between the two. This does not exist. I'm sorry. Altruistic attraction is not a thing, because you're attracted to someone regardless if you want to fuck them or not. Now, they split this up into 6 because they're stupid. There's actually only two different attractions, and it's quite simply, are you attracted to them romantically or are you attracted to them platonically? That's it. You don't need to have sexual attraction. You don't need to have sensual attraction. There's definitely no aesthetic attraction, and altruist attraction, as I said before, does not exist. I'm sorry, Tumblr. It's not a thing. I know you want to compartmentalize all of this. It's not a thing. But that's the attractions. Those lead to the sexualities, apparently. So let's get some of those listed, shall we? Now, they put it in alphabetical order, and I'm just going to go through some of the ones that I think are worth mentioning. Most of them have a longer description, or a weird name, but we'll get through this, at least some of them. Now, I'm sure that they have the normal sexualities, and those are heterosexual, bisexual, gay, lesbian, and transsexual. Those are normal, right? The other ones, on the other hand, well, let's look at abrosexual, having an orientation or feelings about it that constantly change and cannot be pinned down for this reason. What? Having a sexual orientation or sexual feelings about it that constantly change and cannot be pinned down for this reason. Most people call that picky. Ace flux. Now, ace flux, I know ace is short for asexual. Similar to gender flux, which is not a thing, where the intensity of sexual attraction you feel fluctuates. Asexual to demisexual to allosexual and back. We'll get to those in a second. So ace flux. Is this something that you add to the flux capacitor to help you get time travel a little easier than having to travel in a DeLorean at 88 miles an hour? I mean, if it was simply, you know, you hit this button and the ace flux kicks on and then you can go back in time, I'm okay with that. Now, they said asexual, which is ace, but now you're flux, so you could be asexual with your best friend because you don't find them attractive, but you could then find the person down the street very attractive. Well, see, that means you're not asexual. And I don't mean attractive as in you think they look nice. I mean attractive as in I want to fuck them. So, what is this allosexual? Do they have allosexual? They don't even have allosexual listed. So I couldn't tell you. And I'm not going to take the time to look it up on Google because I have better things to do with my time and IQ points. There's Archaeosexual, and I don't think they're talking about my buddy Archeo on my Discord either. It is the feeling of attraction but not wanting it reciprocated, or losing it when it is reciprocated, used as an alternative and potentially less problematic form of lithosexual or lithoromantic. So, what you're saying is, you can find someone attractive, you can find someone hot, you can find someone that you want to bang, but if they want the same from you, you suddenly are not attracted to them. This is not a sexuality. This is a mental disorder. Oh, God. We're only a couple in. It doesn't get any better, trust me. I've read some of these. They're ridiculous. Oh, this one's a good one. Anti-Emo Sexuality. I'm going to say that again. Anti-Emo Sexuality. Check this out. A sexual orientation in which one is attracted only to people who are not, at the moment, menstruating. In some extreme cases, anti-homosexuals may only be attracted to people who have never menstruated, or who never menstruate at all. This is a nice way of saying kitty diddlers. Never menstruated at all. So either you're looking for a man, because they don't menstruate, or you're looking for a prepubescent girl who has never menstruated. What the fuck, Tumblr? Are you serious with this shit? Can you please, for the love of God, next time you come up with a sexuality that has something to do with menstruation, not word it the way of basically saying, I'm a pedophile light. That's ridiculous. Then there's aromantic, feeling no romantic attraction regardless of gender or situation. That's asexual. Then it has bisexual. Bisexual is actually on here because it's a real sexuality. The feeling of attraction towards two or more genders, generally your own gender and others. Two or more genders. There are only two genders, male and female. There is a binary. You cannot be outside the binary, and you can't be non-binary. I don't care. It's not how it works. That's not how it works. Burst sexuality. That's right, burst sexuality. Burst sexuality is having spikes in attraction that fade away after a while. Like normal! My god. Why do I put myself through this for you people? CASS. C-A-S-S. CASS sexuality. Feeling utterly indifferent towards attraction and believing it's not important. So asexual. Culpa romantic. Feeling romantic and platonic attraction at the same time. You mean like being in a relationship? Because that's what that means. You're attracted to them romantically, and you're attracted to them sexually, most of the time. Unless it's an arranged marriage. But you identity politic bastards wouldn't know anything about that, would you? Culpa romantic. The courting scene, the dating scene, the hookup scene. It's Tinder, for Christ's sake. Are you fucking telling me that you need a classification for being romantically and sexually involved with a person? I don't even know anymore. Moving on. Demisexual is one that comes up a lot. So demisexuality is not feeling attraction towards someone until a certain closeness or bond has been formed. That's called trust. Falling in love with your friends. It happens all the time. You guys were friends to begin with. There was an attraction there, but you guys were always with someone or whatever the situation was. And then finally, when you have the opportunity, you both are single and you guys get together. That's not demisexuality. That's just being attracted to someone. It doesn't need a classification. Decino-romantic. Oh my god. Decino-romantic. When one does not experience full-on romantic attraction, but experiences liking, quote-unquote, someone instead of loving them romantically, at which point the attraction goes no further. Friends. The word you are looking for is friends. You like them. Now, you may not like them, but you like them. They're your friends. The attraction goes no further. I have more than a few of those. It does not mean I'm a decino-romantic. It means I'm a person who has a personality that's not filled with mashed potatoes. Fictosexuality. Only feeling a certain type of attraction towards fictional characters. Of course this would fucking be on Tumblr. Fictional characters? Really? They make fun of men all the time for having waifus. This is giving it a sexuality, a classification. Fictional characters are designed to be attractive for a specific reason. To gain the attention of the people reading, watching, listening, downloading, whatever it is. Fictosexuality does not exist, it just means you're normal. It doesn't need a classification. It doesn't need its own sexuality. Grey sexuality. I love this. This one has different classifications, so we're going to have to talk about this one. Grey sexuality. The feeling of usually not having any attraction except occasionally depending on the situation, typically paired with asexual and aromantic. Grade A sexuality. 1. Does not normally experience sexual attraction, but can sometimes. 2. Have sexual attraction, but low sex drive. 3. Have sexual attraction and drive, but no desire to act upon it. Or 4. Those who have sexual attraction and drive, but only under limited and specific circumstances. So they just kind of threw everything in there. So technically, I could be grey sexuality. Because I have the sexual attraction and the drive, but only limited in specific circumstances, like when the opportunity presents itself. Do you see how loosely based that is? Having sexual attraction and drive, but no desire to act upon it. You know, like when you're Brockus going through, years of celibacy. My point is, this encompasses everybody. It doesn't need a classification. It just means you're normal. There's an alternative definition for grey A, which is as a grey area between asexuality and sexuality. Normal people who just happen to have a type that they're attracted to. That's what that is. Here we go. Hetero-flexible. The feeling of having mostly hetero attraction, yet having an openness for other genders. There's a term that came out 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. It's called bi-curious, not hetero-flexible sexuality. Bi-curious, which means you're bisexually curious. Means you're not actually bisexual yet, but you're definitely having those thoughts. I went through that phase before I realized I liked both. So yes, for a while I guess you could say I was hetero-flexible. Oh my god, I have oppression points. I was hetero-flexible. Wait a second. Tumblr helped me with something. I feel dirty. Moving on. Intrasexual. This one. Oh god. Intrasexual. I'm gonna have to explain something for this one, but I'm gonna read it. Intrasexual. A member of a multiple system who is only attracted romantically or sexually to other members of the same system. Intra-romantic, quote-unquote, is a more commonly used term due to the difficulties of two members of the same system engaging in a sexual relationship. Now I know what you're saying. You're saying, Antoine, what the living fuck is a multiple system? Well, a multiple system is quite simply Tumblr's fun way of turning schizophrenia into a fad. You see, they have people called headmates in a multiple system, like your head is a house, and that all of the people that are in there can interchange, talk to each other, they can come out whenever called on. You see, it's a fun version of schizophrenia. You see, schizophrenia is actually created when a traumatic experience, deathly, almost deathly, traumatic experience happens, mainly to young women, sometimes to men, where the mind fractures because what happened is so bad that it cannot cope, and it creates a secondary personality to take over. Now here's the fun thing about headmates and multiple systems that they get wrong, and how you can tell it's bullshit. The main personality of someone who has schizophrenia or multiple personality disorder knows about the other personalities because they are aware. The other personalities, on the other hand, have no idea that they are part of someone else. So Tumblr has turned a mental disorder as serious as schizophrenia into a fun fad that anybody can do if they have the best imagination possible. What's great about multiple systems is that your headmates can be anything you want. You could pretend you're Loki or Thor, or have them both living in the same dorm and they love each other, just like in your slash fiction that you're writing. That's why this is bullshit, because schizophrenia is an actual disease that comes up with an actual personality, not ripping off someone else's. Fuck you, Tumblr, for doing something like this and trying to make it cool. Schizophrenia and multiple personality disorder is not something that people are happy with. Oh, here's a normal one. Lesbian. Lesbianism, lesbian sexuality. Someone who identifies fully or partially as a woman who is attracted to other fully or partially identified women. No! I know that's kind of a definitive statement about lesbianism. I basically could say I identify as a lesbian. It's not true, just means I like women, which means I'm heterosexual, and it was a joke that I had actually used to pick someone up. She laughed and then went off with her girlfriend. Lesbians are women who are attracted to women. If they find out that the woman that they are attracted to has a penis, they will usually, I would say about 80% of the time, usually not like them, not want to have them sexually, not want to be in a relationship with them. That's what a lesbian is, Tumblr. You need to stop changing things on a whim. Meno Sexual. This one is a little known orientation. Meno Sexuality is attraction primarily or entirely to people who are menstruating. It's the opposite of anti-Emo Sexuality. That's gross. I'm sorry. When I do have sex with someone, I want them to make all of those noises that makes it actually sound like I'm trying to kill them. I don't want to then turn on the light and look down and see that it actually looks like I tried to kill them. Look, it's called getting your red wings, ladies and gentlemen. There are two versions of this badge, and I am sorry to say I have both. One of them, the girl I was with, decided not to tell me that she was menstruating. The other one, I did willingly. I'll let you figure out which one is which. Now let's move on, because these people are fucking disgusting. Multisexuality. This this is just a sexual orientation wherein one is only attracted to members of multiple systems. I love this one. In some cases, a multisexual is only attracted to one member of a system. In others, they may be attracted to several members of the same system, to everyone in the same system, or to people from separate systems. One thing that all multisexuals have in common, though, is that they only experience romantic or sexual attraction toward members of multiple systems. Basically, what this sexuality is saying is that they're attracted to schizophrenic people. Oh, I'm sorry, no, headmates. They're attracted to the fake version of this. We're on the M's. We're on the M's. Almost done, hopefully. Just quite possibly. Objectum sexuality. Someone who is sexually attracted to inanimate objects. In this sense, this is not a fetish, for the person sees the object as a partner, not a way to enhance a separate sexual relationship with another person. What the fuck? You're sexually attracted to a spoon? That's objectum sexuality? You're attracted to the television. What about a tree? Nope, that's something else. Wait, I know. You're attracted to your body pillow. You think your body pillow can talk to you. You want to feed it. You want to take care of it. This is a perversion. This is a fetish. And if you actually believe that the inanimate object is a partner that can interact with you, you also have a mental disorder. I'm sorry to say, you need help. But then again, that's everyone on Tumblr. Let's move on, shall we? Oh, here's a good one. Pomosexual. The pomo means postmodern. God, this is gonna be good. A label used to describe those who do not self-identify as gay, straight, or bi, because they feel such labels are unnecessary and outdated. Can we call this hipster sexuality? Honestly, you don't like labels, so you're going to label yourself something else that makes you feel special. You fucking hipster. I'm sorry you need to feel different. I'm sorry you want to stand out because you think it's your punk rock, when actually you're nothing more than cookie cutter pop. This is not a thing, I'm sorry. If I ever came up against someone who actually called themselves pomosexual, one, I would have to be revived because I was laughing so hard I passed out. Two, I would wake up and then have to be revived again from laughing so hard. Pomosexual, you hipster piece of shit. Then there is, let's see here, queeromantic? Queero? It's Q-U-O-I romantic. I don't know it. From the French word quoi, meaning what? The feeling of not being able to distinguish romantic from platonic attraction and therefore being unsure if one has experienced it. Used to replace what the fuck romantic because of vulgarity. There was a WTF romantic. Cuz fucking Tumblr. Okay, what romantic? Are you goddamn serious? You don't. Okay. Here's a good one. Zoosexuality. This is the last one. Zoosexuality, occasionally called zoophilia. Do not go look up what that means. Or if you do, at least have the adult search on. The sexual attraction to non-human animals. Most zoosexuals are only attracted to members of one particular species, or to members of closely related species, and most zoosexuals are attracted to mammals. I'm going to drop the link to this list in the description. I don't know what to think. Some of these things are just labels to make people feel special. They are plain Jane, but have a little quirk. So they have to have their own sexuality. What was wrong with the originals? Heterosexual, bi, lesbian, gay, trans. What was wrong with those? That was kind of encompassing everything. Which is why the LGBTQRS two soul fucking LMNOP goddamn how many word salad letters are they going to add doesn't make sense anymore because of things like this. Could you imagine the acronym that you could come up with all of these letters? There's one for every letter of the alphabet. It is literally alphabet soup. So, like I said, this list has been out for 2 years. I never came across it. I have now. I'm gonna drop a link to it down below. You can go peruse as your leisure. I hope you enjoyed the ones that I have come across and the ones that I did talk about, because none of these things actually exist except for the originals. Basically what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, don't be a fucking hipster. Stay off of Tumblr. And for the love of God, if you do want to bone an animal, someone who hasn't ever menstruated, or someone who is menstruating, just remember to use protection. And those are my thoughts, folks. I'd love to know yours. Let me know in the comments. If you like what I do here, please hit like, share, and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, hit that little bell icon so you know when I upload. If you'd like more of me, you can always join me every Tuesday at 4:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where you can join Brockus, Zell, Lo-Fi, and myself for Proper Villains Live. Or you can always join me on my Discord. The links are down below. If you'd like to support the channel, I have links below for Patreon, Maker Support, and a link to PayPal for one-time donations. There's also a link to a very awesome merch store. But with that being said, this has been Help for the Guildless. My name, of course, is Antoine, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.